Hello, people. Welcome back. So, today what we are going to do is read or introduce a concept called yoga. So, yoga. When I say yoga, what comes to your mind?
I know what it actually means, but there's a perception among most people that yoga has something to do with exercises because that is which has been in the popular media. So I think that's what we're going to discuss today. I know that what it really means is yoga means union. It's a word that represents union with the divine. So yeah.
Yeah, even I, before reading this, even I used to think that yoga is exercise, it's a form of exercise. But when I read these things, it turned out to be a way of life, a very, it's a kind of idealistic way of life. And people who used to practice yoga would mean that they are following these principles to live. So, like the classic image that comes to my mind is the sannyasis or the sages, Rishi Muni वगैरह, जो जो mostly मतलब I think they used to follow this
Hmm.
in
Yeah, it is a
every act of their day to day living.
yogis, like
Yogis.
people who practice yoga are yogis,
हाँ.
and it is a way of life. Like what it means by union or like union with the divine, which is, in other words, you are living very harmoniously with existence, is what I have understood what yoga means.
Yeah, and I think we chose this topic because it is in continuation of the last episode where we like via Bhagavad Gita's explanation, these terms, these different types of yoga were introduced in that. So even so, yoga is actually the core aspect of even Bhagavad Gita. What Bhagavad Gita teaches about. So a lot of similar things are there in both yoga as a discipline and what Bhagavad Gita teaches. So yeah, I think let's start. Let's
Okay.
start our reading.
So what we are reading is Four Paths of Yoga, written by Swami Vivekananda during his first visit to America, in answer to question put by a Western disciple.
Okay.
So the author says, our main problem is to be free. Our main problem is to be free.
Free from?
You enlighten
It's a very big statement.
me. Hmm.
I think that um, this concept of Maya and illusion, right? So basically, अगर आपको पता ही नहीं है तो most of us we take birth and die and we don't even know that we have been bounded by so many conditions, so many in this cycle of getting things, then not getting things, becoming sad, becoming happy, proper entangle properly entangled in this maya, right? So I think freedom, the kind of freedom that he is talking about here, is freedom from this cycle,
Freedom from suffering.
freedom from suffering. So basically knowing what it is, knowing that we are not free, and uh, with yoga he basically provides ways of how to get free from this cycle.
A fun fact is I read this quote, like this section, this quote by Swami Vivekananda in Jallianwala Bagh.
Okay.
So in Jallianwala Bagh today, it is present. There's a small museum inside that,
Okay.
and inside that museum there are a lot of quotes written by a lot of people. Usme I read this, and that was obviously that is freedom in some different context altogether, but it made sense that time.
Okay.
Okay, so author says it is evident then that until we realize ourselves as the absolute, we cannot attain to deliverance. It's a big claim.
What does it mean?
Unless we realize ourselves as the absolute, unless we realize ourselves as the absolute, this is the key concept behind self realization. सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन तो कॉन्सेप्ट बोलते हैं, उसका अल्टीमेट पर्पस यही है कि you realize that you are the absolute.
You are God.
Yeah. So, when you say this, you are God, people always like, this is real shit, okay? And we have discussed this among my friends, I have discussed this, okay? So, sometimes how people perceive it, and not just my friends, a lot of people have perceived this, तू ऐसे कैसे बोल सकता है कि you are God?
अपनी भगवान.
हाँ, that's very egoistic or whatever. But how I see is it in a very different way, and I think what like we will get to the feeling that they want to convey when they try to tell that Thomas thou art that. So I mean that's I think what he is trying to say, that in order to be free from all the sufferings, you'll have to realize who you are. And once you realize that, then you can be blissful and peace and stuff like that.
I think when people say this thing, ki, how can you say that you're God? It's so egoistic. So I think they perceive it in a way saying that कि तुमने ऐसा बोला है कि you are as powerful as God, that you can change things or control things.
That again, that assumes that by God equates power and stuff like that. So only people who I don't know, don't realize what God is.
Yes.
Because once you realize that, then from what I have read theoretically and what I feel is that once you realize that, you will see it in everywhere, like in all the things, in nature, in other people, in humanity.
That interconnected thing that we talked about. Yeah, even even Buddha says this thing ki for him self-realization was a process. It happens over the years and not just like that. You have to take steps for it. So Buddha was doing it for so long. So in his path to enlightenment, it came in steps to him, and then one day, yes, suddenly it all culminated into it. But उसमें वो एक स्टेप यही था कि ये समझना कि like we are all part of one thing, interconnected. And then I think that is eventually you realize everything at once, but it happens in steps.
So the author says, yet there are various ways of attaining to this realization. See, again, a very cool thing. There can be multiple ways to realize the same thing.
And you find your own path.
Yeah. And you don't need to, I mean, there is no need to have that conversation that there is only one path. That's a false assumption. Saying that this path is correct, your path is wrong. That doesn't make sense. Why can't there be more than one path to realize the same thing? These methods have the generic name of yoga, to join ourselves to our reality. These yogas, though divided into various groups, can primarily be classed into four, as each is only a method leading indirectly to the realization of the absolute. They are suited to different temperaments. This also I found very cool about this, that for people with different temperaments or different nature, he's suggesting that
Different ways.
Yeah, there can be different ways. So this also I found very cool, because I relate a lot with karma yoga and raja yoga. So this is also very cool. I mean, all these things, like I mean, indirectly it does say about being tolerant and
Open-minded.
yeah, being open-minded. You don't need to fight about religion, that this path is correct and this path is wrong. Once you yourself completely understand and realize, then you can, you will realize that there is no single path and there's no right or wrong in this.
And I think that's why people say this thing. I don't know how much they follow, but they say that I want my kid to choose their religion, like to find.
This is what Osho also says, that everybody should be have a choice to choose their religion.
हाँ, which makes sense, क्योंकि हर हर रिलीजन का एक पाथ होता है, का कुछ वेज होता है, मतलब हिंदुइज्म में अपने आप में ही बहुत सारे वेज हैं, तो वैसे ही आई थिंक एवरी रिलीजन हैज देयर ओन वे. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाट आई एम, वेयर आई हैव बॉर्न, मैं, मेरे को क्या समझ में आता है, मेरी क्या कंडीशनिंग है, मैं अभी किस स्टेज में हूँ लाइफ में, उसके अकॉर्डिंग हो सकता है कि मुझे कोई और रिलीजन का कुछ और पाथ समझ में आए,
Exactly.
या हो सकता है कि कुछ एक रिलीजन से कुछ दूसरे रिलीजन से कुछ, मतलब मिक्स एंड मैच करके कुछ समझ में आए. सो या
Yeah, I mean, if you had no choice in which religion will you born, so logically, how can you say that, this is the religion for me? You could have been born in any religion, correct? And what we are talking about is, I wouldn't even say that's religion, because I think that's spirituality. There's a difference in that.
हाँ, इवन जैसे ये सब जब हिंदुइज्म की चीजें लिखी जा रही थी, उस समय तो कुछ ऐसा भगवान का मूर्ति नहीं होती थी, कुछ नहीं होता. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट लाइक हरप्पन टाइम्स, वहाँ उसी के अराउंड हिंदुइज्म की कितनी सारी चीजें लिखी गई. स्टार्टेड अराउंड दैट टाइम अकॉर्डिंग टू व्हाटएवर हैज बीन फाउंड येट टिल नाउ. तो अ, तो उस पॉइंट पे तो ना शिव जी की मूर्ति थी, ना किसी चीज की मूर्ति थी, ना कुछ था. पीपल हैव फाउंड इट आउट बाय देमसेल्व्स, एंड लाइक बाय सिटिंग विद देमसेल्व्स, एंड इट हैज बीन रिवील्ड टू देम. तो वो सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन उनको हुआ है इवन बिफोर ऑल दिस एग्जिस्टेड. सो दैट ओनली सेज दिस थिंग कि that you have to sit with yourself and do this self realization and carve your own path, because those people also had self realization, but at that time there was nothing, no Ramayana, no Mahabharata.
Now it must be remembered that it is not that the assumed man becomes the real man or absolute. There is no becoming with the absolute. It is ever free, ever perfect. But the ignorance that has covered its nature for a time is to be removed. Therefore, the whole scope of all systems of yoga, and each religion represents one, is to clear up this ignorance and allow the Atman, self, to restore its own nature. The chief helps the chief helps in this liberation are Abhyasa and Vairagya. Vairagya is non-attachment to life, because it is the will to enjoy that brings all this bondage in its train. And Abhyasa is the constant practice of any one of the yogas.
Vairagya.
So, pretty cool thing in this is that ऐसे ये बोलते हैं कि you are already there. You are the absolute. You just need to uncover that stuff. That's what it says.
वो तो इतना लेयर ऑफ इग्नोरेंस, इतना लेयर्स आ जाते हैं ना हमारे पर्सनालिटी में कि आई ऑलवेज वंडर कि जब हम ऐसे नए नए पैदा हुए होते हैं, उसी समय कोई आके हमें बोल दे कि भाई ये है, इट्स अ शॉर्टकट नो, कि पैदा हुए हुए अभी तक कुछ कचरा नहीं डाला गया है मेरे अंदर, बस उसी समय आके बोल दो कि दिस इज द पाथ, दिस इज व्हाट यू हैव टू फाइंड, दिस इज हु यू आर. तो
And it will work. And it will work. I mean, I think it's just the way it works कि पहले तुम पूरा सब कीचड़ वीचड़ तुम्हारे ऊपर लगता है, okay, then it causes you the problem, because कीचड़ की वजह से you are not able to see things clearly, which makes you confused and makes you suffer and everything. Then you again go through the process of removing all the कीचड़, and then
बस वही है लाइफ.
yeah, that's it.
ओके.
So that was the introduction, and the first type of yoga that we are going to talk about is Karma Yoga. Okay. Karma Yoga is purifying the mind by means of work. If any work is done, good or bad, it must produce as a result a good or bad effect. No power can say it once the cause. No power can stay it once the cause is present. So basically, I think it's Newton's third law. Action reaction का scene है, cause and effect. according to this, there are good and bad kind of work, and they produce good and bad effects. Therefore, good action producing good karma and bad action bad karma. The soul will go on in eternal bondage without ever hoping for deliverance. Now, karma belongs only to the body or the mind, never to the Atman. Only it can cast a wheel before Atman. The wheel cast by bad karma is ignorance. Good karma has the power to strengthen the moral powers, and thus it creates non attachment. It destroys the tendency towards bad karma and therefore purifies the mind. But if the work is done with the intention of enjoyment, it then produces only that very enjoyment and does not purify the mind or chitta. Therefore, all work should be done without any desires to enjoy the fruits thereof. All work should be done without any desire to enjoy the fruits thereof. Work for work's sake, okay. All fear and all desire to enjoy here or hereafter must be banished forever by the karma yogi. Moreover, this karma without desire of return will destroy the selfishness, which is the root of all bondage. The watchword of the karma yogi is not I, but thou, and no amount of self-sacrifice is too much for him. But he does this without any desire to go to heaven or gain name or fame or any other benefits in this world. You see, this is so counterintuitive to economic principles. Like, I'm telling you, the first class that I attended of economics, okay, in a business school, in the first class itself, they tell you that this is this law of economics that all humans work for incentives. Humans respond to incentives.
Practically that's true. Like that is how we, वो बचपन से ऐसे ही बोला जाता है ना,
ये मिलेगा तो
ये
मिलेगा
मिलेगा
तुम्हें, इसलिए काम करो.
बिकॉज सी वो जो कीचड़ की बात हम कर रहे थे तो वो यही कीचड़ है, सेल्फिशनेस. सो इन द होल थिंग व्हाट आई गॉट टू नो इज you have to be selfless. If you are truly selfless, you have achieved karma yoga. So you, because जैसे तुमने बोला कि हर चीज के पीछे एक इंसेंटिव होता है कि मैं ये करूंगा तो ये मिलेगा, ये करूंगा तो ये मिलेगा, मैं
ये मिलेगा तो इसलिए कर.
हाँ, तो जो मिलेगा मेरे को वो डोंकी और कैरेट का सीन रहता है कि वो कैरेट हमेशा दिख रहा होता है हमें, वो कैरेट को खाने के लिए हम वो चीज कर रहे होते हैं, चल रहे होते हैं, एंड वो हम चलते ही रहते हैं. तो ही सेइंग, मतलब व्हाट आई थिंक इज बीइंग सेड इज कि यू हैव टू इग्नोर द कैरेट. You have to ignore. मिला तो मिला, नहीं मिला तो नहीं मिला. There should be no that knowledge of carrot to move ahead. You have to do things because you have to do it.
All work should be done without any desire to enjoy the fruits thereof.
हाँ, and
But then there will be, so you see again this philosophy, as previously mentioned, are suited for some kind of people of certain temperaments. बिकॉज यहाँ पे ऐसा भी हो सकता है, ऐसे लोग हो सकते हैं फिर वो बोलेंगे कि इंसेंटिव नहीं तो मैं काम क्यों करूँ. सो इट्स, आई डोंट थिंक दिस फिलॉसफी, दिस कर्मा योगा टाइप इज फॉर देम. या मतलब आई डोंट नो हाउ
they have to change their thing. मतलब see, temperament आज कुछ है, but to see growth you have to change your philosophies, the way you look, right? So see, the world is not designed this way. That is all the illusion we were talking about. The world is not designed this way. You have to be a rebel to do this. You have to be a rebel. You have to see things कि भाई मुझे ये करना है selflessly. Like of course अगर तुम काम कर रहे हो तो you are doing that work in exchange of money. So वहाँ पे भी एक रिवॉर्ड है, एक रिवॉर्ड टांगा जाता है कि तुमको इंक्रीमेंट मिलेगा, तुमको प्रमोशन मिलेगा, तो तभी मैं काम करूँ. मैं सिर्फ मतलब क्योंकि मुझे वो काम करने में मजा आता है, मैं सिर्फ इसलिए काम करने नहीं जाती हूँ. That might be the case, but that is not the only thing. My biggest,
काम करने में मजा आता है वो भी तो अटैचमेंट हुआ, वो भी तो एक, उसमें भी तो एक हिडन डिजायर है कि मुझे मजा आता है इसलिए मैं काम कर रहा हूँ.
that's a, I don't think that is an outcome. There's no tangible outcome in that. Like मजा आना, मतलब आई एंजॉय द वर्क एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई एम डूइंग इट. लाइक डेस्टिनी और वो जर्नी वाला कॉन्सेप्ट की जर्नी को लाइक करो, नॉट द डेस्टिनेशन. तो इट द सेम थिंग, मतलब देयर शुड बी सम मोटिवेशन कि लाइक जैसे आगे जाके इस बुक में लिखा है कि टू प्रैक्टिस दिस, the only way to practice this is to have love. If you love, like take the case of mother and a kid, her kid. So being a parent, I think ideally a father also should do this, is you keep your kids things first. और जहां पे भी वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आता है कि मुझे ये करना है क्योंकि मुझे इसमें मजा आता है, या मुझे ये करना है फॉर सो एंड सो रीजन बिकॉज आई गेट दिस, या वर्सेस मुझे ये करना है बिकॉज माई किड needs this or this would make my kid happy. So as a parent, by default your tendency would be to do that for your kid and to skip that selfish part कि ठीक है छोड़ो, वो खुश हो जाएगा ना, कर लेते. So love makes it easier to be this, to do this. And that is why जितने मतलब जो self realized या enlightened people हैं, you will always say that there is like love not only for their पर्सनल पीपल, लाइक फैमिली या फ्रेंड्स के लिए उनके लिए love, उनके मन में लव नहीं होता. इट्स लाइक फॉर एवरीबडी एंड दैट्स व्हाई दे आर लाइक सेल्फलेस ऑल द टाइम. दे आर डूइंग, दे फाइंड जॉय इन डूइंग थिंग्स फॉर अदर पीपल. तो कर्मा योगा के लिए you have to switch your mindset.
It's a
And it's very difficult in
huge,
this.
huge switch.
Yeah, for that, then तुम्हारे लिए मनी उतना मैटर नहीं करना चाहिए, तुम्हारे लिए कंफर्ट्स उतने मैटर नहीं करने चाहिए.
Recognition नहीं मैटर.
हाँ, बिकॉज तुम्हारा जो भी ईगो सेटिस्फाइंग जो एक्टिविटीज होती है वो तो मैटर ही नहीं करना चाहिए, तभी यू कैन डू दिस. और योर लाइक योर लव शुड बी सो इमेंस, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वो ऐसा बोलते हैं ना कि लव इज द शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ टू डिविनिटी. And that is why maybe like that is why being a kid just like raises you as a person. Like being in love with another person raises you because it makes you do things which are selfless.
Although the explanation and the rationale of this unselfish work is only in the Jnana Yoga, yet the natural divinity of man makes him love all sacrifice simply for the good of others. Love is again here. Without any ulterior motive, whatever his creed or opinion. Again, with many, the bondage of wealth is very great, and Karma Yoga is absolutely necessary for them as breaking the crystallization that has gathered round their love for money.
I think that ये भी वही बोल, इसमें भी वही लिखा गया है कि if wealth is the motivation, then it's all about pride, comfort, all those things, luxury. So that is why it is said कि don't make wealth as your motivation because it makes you eventually selfish. और कुछ problem नहीं है वहाँ पे. जो बोलते हैं ना कि greed is one of the sins and you should not be greedy. तो उसके पीछे का I think concept ये होता है कि if you start valuing things which will eventually not give you joy actually. So that is why they say it's an illusion, you have to see through it and you should not value that so much.
ये changes a lot. I mean, मेरे को कर्म योगा के बारे में कुछ स्कूल या कॉलेज ऐसे में नहीं पता था when I was in education.
वही
तो ये इतना फंडामेंटल चेंज है क्योंकि तुम बच्चा किस लिए पढ़ रहा है? बच्चा मार्क्स के लिए पढ़ रहा है, बच्चा कंपटीशन में फर्स्ट आने के लिए पढ़ रहा है, आईआईटी में घुसने के लिए पढ़ रहा है,
प्लेसमेंट के लिए पढ़ रहा है,
प्लेसमेंट के लिए पढ़ रहा है,
पैकेज के लिए पढ़ रहा है.
Is it even possible that just like we designed a system where people are just learning for learning's sake? And you know that is the thing that is appreciated, that how well you understood it. And
वो तो everything is now capitalist situation में रह रहे ना. Everything is about money. You give money with expectation of getting something out of it. It's everything about living.
that's the structure of society.
हाँ, तो वही मतलब that is why you have to be a rebel. You have to reject these things.
Hmm.
And I think it happens like step by step. ऑफ कोर्स मतलब मैं कल उठ के नहीं बोल सकती कि भाई मनी डज नॉट मैटर, या लेन देन को मैं साइड में कर दूंगी, आई बी लाइक वो ऐसे तो नहीं कर सकता. वो धीरे धीरे ही होता है.
Okay, let's go to the second yoga, which is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti or worship or love in some form or other is the easiest, pleasantest, and the most natural way of man. I I think Swami Vivekananda would be very surprised to see that this is not the case anymore. The natural state, he's saying it's a natural state to love. The natural state of this universe is attraction, and that is surely followed by an ultimate disunion. Even so, love is the natural impetus of union in the human heart, and though itself a great cause of misery, properly directed towards the proper object, it brings deliverance. The object of bhakti is God. Love cannot be without a subject or an object and an object. The object of love again must be at first a being who can reciprocate our love. Therefore, the God of love must be in some sense a human God. He must be a God of love. Aside from the question whether such a God exists, it is a fact that to those who have love in their heart, this absolute appears as a God of love, as personal. What are your opinions about this form of yoga?
It's again, I think it's selflessness through love for God.
Hmm.
कि मेरा सब कुछ तेरे को तुझे अर्पण.
Hmm.
इट्स लाइक दैट कि मैं जो भी कर रही हूँ आपके लिए कर रही हूँ, इट्स नॉट फॉर मी.
Hmm.
तो आई थिंक भक्ति योगा में भी सेल्फलेसनेस ही है, बट द वे ऑफ डूइंग इट इज थ्रू लव ऑफ गॉड. और ये काफी मतलब जैसे पिछली जनरेशन में ये काफी एविडेंट होता था.
कैसे?
मतलब जैसे मेरी एक आंट मैं एक आंटी को जानती थी जो बहुत ही बेसिक चीज जो जीने के लिए चाहिए, मतलब रोटी कपड़ा मकान टाइप, वो उनके लिए उतना ही होता था इम्पोर्टेंट. उसके अलावा सो शी ट्रूली बिलीव्ड इन दिस थिंग कि अ लॉट ऑफ माई टाइम, सो शी वॉज अ टीचर, तो वो अपना टीचिंग का जॉब करने के बाद में शी काइंड ऑफ डेडिकेटेड लॉट ऑफ हर टाइम टू गॉड इन वॉट एवर वे. मतलब या तो ऐसे सत्संग या कुछ पढ़ के, या तो जस्ट लाइक सिटिंग एंड थिंकिंग अबाउट. तो देर आर मतलब हमारे दिमाग में वो वैसे बूढ़े दादा दादी टाइप लोग आते हैं जब हम ये सुनते हैं कि बस वो दिन रात वो माला जप रहे हैं. सो दैट्स लाइक काइंड ऑफ सेइंग कि मेरा सारा समय आपके लिए, मैं जो भी कर रही हूँ वो आपके लिए. So people like there are some communities that believe कि अपना इतना percentage of income you have to give it back to the society. So it is like way of, it's bhakti only because guru ने बोला है कि मेरे लिए you do this. So I think these are forms of bhakti yoga.
The lower forms of worship, which embody the idea of God as a judge or a punisher, or someone to be obeyed through fear, do not deserve to be called love. Although they are forms of worship gradually expanding into higher forms. We pass on to the consideration of love itself. We will illustrate love by a triangle, of which the first angle at the base is fearlessness. So long as there is fear, it is not love. Love banishes all fear. A mother with her baby will face a tiger to save her child. The second angle is that love never asks, never begs. The third or the apex is that love loves for the sake of love itself. Even the idea of the object vanishes. Love is the only form in which love is loved. This is the highest abstraction and the same as the absolute. Fearlessness,
Never ask or beg for
never
it.
ask or beg, and then love for love's sake.
So again, हमारी सोसाइटी ने ये सब कुछ त्याग दिया है, ये सारा कॉन्सेप्ट.
We have completely misunderstood things.
हाँ, हमारी सोसाइटी इज a man society, and a man always thinks in terms of give and take, and that is why there is no love based society. क्योंकि love में you have to trust and you have to do such things, and you, a society running only on trust, that is not possible, and that's why it's always give and take. तू मुझे देगा तभी मैं तुझे दूंगी.
It's always a transaction.
It's always a transaction. It's always a transaction, whether it's between a parent and a kid.
It is.
So that is what, like, इसलिए थोड़ा सा रिबेल होना चाहिए ये सब प्रैक्टिस करने के लिए आज की तारीख में, and people might find you different, and that's why some people they don't want to do it. ये ऐसा थोड़ा ना होता है. It might come across that you are a fool. You're an
Absolutely.
emotional fool.
You go and tell anybody that I've realized God and that is me. People will abandon you. Like literally, they will abandon
उनको
you.
लगा कुछ ज़्यादा अकेले रह गए क्या?
Rather, you've gone bonkers.
तो कमिंग बैक टू द पॉइंट, आई थिंक जैसे वो होता है ना कि कंडीशंस होते हैं आज के तारीख में. लव इज ऑल कंडीशनल.
Yes.
द सो कॉल्ड लव
So-called Bollywood love.
is conditional, whether it's parental love also sometimes,
It is. It is.
whether it's like, oh, मतलब वो तो highest form of love होना चाहिए ideally, but even that has become
There are conditions associated with it. You are not raising a kid for raising a kid itself. You're raising a kid because you know you are fearful that one day you will get old and you will need somebody to take care of you. That's the purpose of raising that kid.
So I still feel that mothers are still
Closer.
unconditional in a lot of ways, but उनको भी कभी कभी डर फंसा लेता है. लेकिन it's always conditional between like a couple also, कि तुम ये करोगी तो मैं ये करूंगा, तुमने भी तो ऐसे नहीं किया था, मैं ऐसा क्यों करूं. जब वो गायब होने लगता है, then the whole like relationship only changes. So then it is no more selfish, and it's always like giving कि मैं ही कर देता हूँ, नहीं हुआ तो ठीक है. If she does not reciprocate, it does not matter. I want to do it only because I love her. So when these things come in, तो वो nature ये पूरा change हो जाता है. It suddenly starts feeling, that relationship starts feeling very free. It starts feeling, you also then want to give more, and then I think it eventually you'll feel that you are becoming a better person.
This is what the best thing about all these things that we're reading. It's very experiential. You try it and then you see that are you in a better state or not. You can see for yourself.
I think that's true. So I think you read whatever you read on relationships today, or you see whatever is working in koi bhi marriage which you idealize, it will always have selflessness, egolessness as the base of it. Then you can have a very natural, fluid, peaceful, fulfilling relationship. Because you're not trying to, as you say, like influence.
You're not to exploit the other person or influence or whatever.
कि you are here to make me happy.
Yeah.
वो एक चीज हो जाती है कि तो मैं रिलेशनशिप में क्यों, मैं अकेले ही रह लेता. You are here to do things for me, and that is why I am with you. This concept will not take you far, because then फिर सामने वाला भी वही सोचेगा ना. When this comes in, then it's always me, and then there's no relationship. Then it becomes transaction. कि ले दे वाला. So that's what. So love for the sake of loving, and for that, if you have to let them do things which do not please you, you have to do that. You have to वो एक बहुत ऐसा क्लासिक एग्जाम्पल है ना कि फूल को तोड़ के अपने पास रखना, that's not love. फूल को वहीं पे रहने देना, bloom होने देना, that is love. And it's very difficult to do because always your thing will come in कि मुझे ये करना था, उसने नहीं किया. So when you're trying to do this, है तू वो कर, तो अपना सब साइड में करके वो कर जो मुझे करना है. And it happens. Like क्योंकि हम लोग बचपन से ऐसे ही हैं, तो it takes a lot of work to actually start loving somebody. But you'll also see it frees you. तो फियरिंग वाला तो है ही. कितने सारे लोग होते हैं कि भगवान से डरो, भगवान से ऐसे, पापा से डरो, भगवान से डरो, टीचर से डरो, सबसे डरो, उस इंसान से डरो. सो जहाँ पे डर आ जाता है वहां पे एवरीथिंग इज fear driven.
There's a lot of difference between fear and love.
हाँ,
There is a lot of
you will
difference.
feel that.
The feeling is different. Feeling is different.
तो जैसे इंडियन सोसाइटी में थोड़ा ऐसा रहता है कि पापा है या एनीबडी लाइक एनी एल्डर, यू हैव टू रिस्पेक्ट देम बिकॉज दे आर एल्डर टू यू. ठीक है. नहीं तो लाइक ही विल बी दिस वे और दैट वे, वो तुम्हें डांटेंगे, वो तुम्हें ऐसे करेंगे वैसे करेंगे. ये बचपन में थोड़ा होता है. तो आई थिंक देन अगेन यू आर टेकिंग अवे द लव ऑफ दैट रिलेशनशिप.
Absolutely.
You're making it again very, और फिर वो then the same kind of relationship the kid has
In
everywhere.
their family and yeah.
हाँ, फिर उसका हर टाइप का रिलेशनशिप फियर बेस्ड हो जाता है कि मैंने ये नहीं किया तो छोड़ के चला जाएगा, मैंने ये नहीं किया तो, then it's all anxiety fear driven. Then where is love?
No, the first time I read this triangle was very cool.
हाँ,
Fearlessness, never asks, never begs, and love for the sake of love.
हाँ. Asking begging तो again asking or like it is it
Does
comes
it
from
mean begging somebody to stay with them, or does it mean that, or what does it mean to love never asks, never begs?
like begging someone to stay with them or begging God कि please मुझे दे दो, please मुझे ऐसा कर दो.
Hmm.
Even that is again it's transactional कि मैं तुमको तभी.
That is the only form of prayer I knew for the longest time. I thought begging for things is prayer, is what you do in prayer.
हाँ,
That is such a, like, that's a very wrong assumption.
वहां पे ही वो सब आ जाता है ना कि सुपरस्टिशन वहीं पे आता है जहाँ पे आस्किंग बेगिंग फियर होता है कि मैंने ऐसे नहीं किया तो फिर भगवान
Yeah.
ऐसे कर देंगे.
Because anything can happen, and वो associate कर देते हैं कि अगर हमने ये rules follow नहीं किए, then bad things will happen,
हाँ,
and that's why you fear God.
हाँ. तो ये आस्किंग बेगिंग भी आई थिंक सेल्फिश उसमें आता है कि मैं तभी तुमको प्यार करूंगा जब तुम मुझे ऐसे करोगे, और जैसे ही मेरी लाइफ में खराब चीजें होना शुरू कर देंगी तो मेरा विश्वास उठ जाएगा भगवान से. बट द फैक्ट इज कि अगर विश्वास उठ भी गए, लेकिन व्हेन द लाइक दैट मोमेंट कम्स ना कि द मोस्ट डेस्परेट मोमेंट, स्टिल यू विल गो बैक टू गॉड ओनली आस्किंग फॉर इट.
Good. So next up is Raja Yoga. So the author says this yoga fits in with every one of these yogas. It fits inquirers of all classes with or without any belief, and it is the real instrument of religious inquiry. Religion and inquiry in the same sentence.
It's pretty good.
As each science has its particular method of investigation, so is this Raja Yoga the method of religion.
Wow.
So this was pretty cool thing that I think the greatest contribution of Swami Vivekananda has been to say that religion and science are not at conflict with each other, and yoga is a science. That's what he says. Yoga is a science of self-realization. The science also is variously applied according to various constitutions. The chief parts are the pranayama, concentration, and meditation. For those who believe in God, a symbolic name such as Om or other sacred words received from a guru will be helpful. Om is the greatest, meaning the absolute. Meditating on the meaning of these holy names while repeating them is the chief practice. What do you think about mantra repetition? What do you think it does?
for a lot of years I used to do गायत्री मंत्र रिपीटिशन. मतलब मेरे लिए जब भी मैं पूजा करने बैठती थी तो मैं गायत्री मंत्र पढ़ती थी कि ठीक है, और मुझे कोई उसका मतलब नहीं पता था. ठीक है, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट लाइक ग्रोइंग अप इयर्स. ठीक है, तो बट स्टिल मतलब वो एक ऐसा रिचुअल का स्टेप होता था कि आओ मंदिर के सामने बैठो, ऐसे जल वल चढ़ाओ, अगरबत्ती जलाओ और फिर गायत्री मंत्र पढ़ो, फिर अपना विश मांगो और निकलो. ठीक है, लाइक पे योर रिस्पेक्ट, लव, टच फीट एंड देन. तो ये मेरा रिचुअल होता था. बट मंत्र सी मंत्र एक फॉल बैक मैकेनिज्म है, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इट तुम किसी भी सिचुएशन में हो, ठीक है, किसी चैलेंजिंग सिचुएशन में हो, एंड इफ यू वांट टू मे बी फोकस, ब्रिंग बैक फोकस ऑन on yourself. So one way is to do it via breath. Other way is to repeat words, which is like slightly easier. कि ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय अगर मैं ये बोल रही हूँ, ठीक है, तो it will bring my focus from whatever is like challenging me or causing negative emotions and bring my focus on Om Namah Shivaya. And if I know the meaning of it, then तो मतलब it will calm me down also. It will kind of remind me amidst like all that chaos कि there is God. And it restores faith amidst chaos. It's like a tool. It's like a tool that you can use. तो
an anchor sort of.
हाँ, एन एंकर सॉर्ट ऑफ कि कुछ भी हो रहा हो, मुझे अगर याद दिलाना है, मुझे अपने आप को स्टेज में वापस लेकर जाना है जो मैं सुबह पूजा करते समय थी, काम एंड कंपोज्ड. तो दैट काइंड ऑफ reestablishes that mood. I think in general वो लाइफ मंत्र भी आजकल बोलते हैं ना कि repeat this, कि I am enough.
Affirmations, yes.
So repeat this, I am enough, every day in the morning as you get up. So that is also kind of a mantra only, by which you are living, and it just you associate certain emotions, some state of mind with that, and whenever you'll say those words, it will kind of restore that state of mind for you.
True.
So
True.
मंत्रा का वैसे यूज कर सकता है, बट आई थिंक what he was saying was कि not doing just for the sake of doing it, realizing, questioning, and then realizing the meaning behind what you're doing. वो सब के बारे में हमने आई थिंक ऑलरेडी काफी बात करी हुई है, एंड आई थिंक दैट पीपल शुड डू दैट मोर ऑफन सो दैट दे फाइंड मीनिंग इन व्हाट दे आर डूइंग.
Makes sense. So, meditation on the meaning of these holy names while repeating them is the chief practice. That was Raja Yoga. And then we finally go to the fourth yoga, which is Jnana Yoga. The author says Jnana Yoga is divided into three parts. First, hearing the truth that the Atman is the only reality and that everything else is Maya. Second, reasoning upon this philosophy from all point of view. Reasoning on this philosophy. Third, giving up all further argumentation and realizing the truth. The realization comes from 1. Being certain that Brahman is real and everything else is unreal. Giving up all desire for enjoyment. Third, controlling the senses and the mind. Fourth, intense desire to be free. Meditating on this reality always and reminding the soul of its real nature are the only ways in this yoga. It is the highest but most difficult. Many persons get an intellectual grasp of it, but very few attain realization. So Jnana Yoga seems to be about knowledge and critical thinking, reasoning, as he mentions, and then there are certain facts that has to be followed that he mentions. So this was it for all the 4 types of yoga and what yoga means. Is there any closing thoughts?
I think what we have just read, it's actually what couple of paragraphs like 5-6 paragraphs, but it's like it's very difficult to follow in this world, especially maybe ऐसे पुराने जमाने में जहाँ पे टीवी, सोशल मीडिया और कैपिटलिज्म नहीं था.
I think it depends upon a lot. I mean, how many people are following it? If there are people around you who are following it, who have ever met somebody who has said that, I'm just doing it for, for its own sake. I don't know. Like, I don't care about how much you pay me or whatever marks, and I'm just doing because of it. That is inspiring. I haven't heard anybody talk this way. So I think it does depend on that and how many people around you are also believing in that philosophy.
Yeah, that definitely helps. मतलब seeing somebody do it, तो it helps us visualize कि हाँ ऐसे करने से ये टाइप का लाइफ हो सकता है या ये टाइप की चीज हो सकती है. And if you see the effects of it, तो it will inspire you also to do it. But I think everybody has their own path. Like बुद्धा को बहुत सारे टीचर्स मिले थे और उन्होंने किसी भी टीचर की पाथ फॉलो नहीं करी. उन्होंने अपनी पाथ फॉलो करी, अपनी पाथ बनाई. और आई थिंक दैट इज इट. लाइक even if you don't find anybody doing it, practicing it, you have to find your own path. Even if you find somebody doing it, it might not resonate with you. You might not feel कि मैं वो करना चाहता हूँ because it's his path. It makes sense to him. But just taking small steps, वो स्मॉल करते करते वो अपने आप वो एक कंपाउंड कर जाता है. वो तुम्हारा छोटे छोटे तरीके से पर्सनालिटी चेंज कर रहा होता है. And eventually, I think your whole world might change with those small. ये सब एक गाइड की तरह हो सकता है कि हाँ ऐसा कुछ होता है. So now it's on you to experience it on day-to-day basis.
True. That's it. Hope you liked it, enjoyed it, learned something from it.